Hi everyone, I am Claire Ann M. Kalangian from BSA 2B, and I'm going to report the person-product moment correlation. So let's start. When we hear correlation, what the things comes to your mind? Correlation is a statistical measure that expresses the extent to which two variables are linearly related, meaning they change together at constant rate. So, pag sinabi natin sa correlation, dito, mini-measure yung value or kino-compute yung value na nagsasabi kung gaano kataas yung relationship ng isang variable sa isa pang variable, or meaning they change together at a constant rate. It's a common tool for describing simple relationships without making a statement about cause and effect. Correlation is interdependence of variable quantities. So, yung variable na ginagamit natin dito is quantitative and also interdependence. The correlation coefficient is a statistical measure of the strength of the relationship between the relative movement of two variables. So here, yun nga, kukumpitin natin, or we going to determine or measure the statistical value of the strength of the relationship between the two variables. Next. So here are given. Case. The following matrix show the meaning net profit margin, or MNPM, and means cooperative social responsibility, or MCSR, of 74 public listed companies, or PLCS. Takes an example from a total of 250 public companies. The mean of net profit margin is the public listed average net profit margin from 2004 to 2010. The mean of cooperative social responsibility is the public listed company average expenses devoted to socially responsible business activities. Data were taken from the income statement component of the public listed financial statement posted online through their respective websites. The mean net profit margin was calculated by adding the net profit margin on the public listed company from 2004 to 2010 divided by 7. The mean of cooperative social responsibility was expressed as ratio of expenses devoted to socially responsible business activity to the public listed company's total expenses from 2004 to 2010. So these are the given. These are the name stock symbol, or ito yung mga public listed company. And dito yung hindi pala kayo. So punta tayo sa given. So eto, stock symbol. Ito yung mga yung 74 public listed company, and these are their mean net profit margin and the mean of cooperative social responsibility. So this given are we're going to use to calculate the correlation coefficient. So this is the x variable, while the MCSR are the y variable. So these are the following that we are going to determine. So A, determine the relationship, if any, between profitability of the public listed companies as indicated by mean of net profit margin and social responsible business practices of public listed as indicated by mean of cooperative social responsibility. Use MS Excel statistic function. Example given is person-product moment correlation. So, pwede tayong gumamit ng Excel statistic function. For short, Excel. So, hint, follow this step in hypothesis testing. Number 1, state the null hypothesis. Number 2, calculate the coefficient of correlation or R. Interpret the coefficient of correlation you got in number 2. 4. Test for the significance or non-significance of the correlation coefficient by computing the t-statistic. Number 5. Compare the computed t-statistic with the tabular value of t at 1.9939 with n-2 degrees of freedom and alpha level of 0.05. 6. Apply the decision rule. 7. Justify your decision. So next, D. Graph the matrix using a scattered diagram. C. Derive the simple regression model. Use the formula y is equal to a plus bx. D. Draw a trend line in the scattered diagram. So, ito yung mga gagawin natin or hahanapin natin using yung given kanina. So, next slide. So, number 1, state the null hypothesis. Our null hypothesis is there is no significant relationship between profitability of the public listed companies as indicated by mean of net profit margin and social responsible business practices of public listed companies as indicated by mean of cooperative social responsibility. Alternative hypothesis. So, ito, optional lang to, pero ang sabi lang naman dito is state the null hypothesis. Kahit hanggang dito lang sa null. Pero nag-state lang ako dito ng alternative hypothesis, which is there is a significant relationship between profitability of the public listed companies as indicated by mean net profit margin and socially responsible business practices of public listed companies as indicated by mean of cooperative social responsibility. Next slide. So number 2, calculate the coefficient of correlation. So before to get the coefficient of correlation or R, we will use this formula. The formula of coefficient of correlation is R is equal to summation of xy less number of sample multiplied by summation of x and summation of y all over square root of summation of x squared less number of sample multiplied by summation of x quantity squared and double quantity multiplied by double quantity of summation of y squared minus number of sample multiplied by summation of y raised to 2. So, bago tayo mag-solve, kailangan muna nating hanapin yung summation of xy, summation of x squared, summation of y squared, and summation of x. Pupunta na tayo sa Excel to calculate those. So, Excel. So, ito yung given kanina. Ito yun, no? Yan, ito yung given. Kinopy lang natin siya sa Excel. So, here are given. So, di ba sabi natin, bago natin ma-compute yung R, kailangan muna natin makuha 'to, yung x squared, xy, y squared, yung pinaka-total ng mga 'to. So, bago natin makuha yung total, kailangan muna natin isa-isahin 'tong 74 listed companies. So, para mapadali tayo, Excel yung gagamitin natin. So, kuha lang tayo ng formula. Equal sign. So, ito yung x variable natin. Raised to 2. So, x squared yan. X squared. So, para yung squared or mag-raise to 2, kailangan mo pong i-click shift to 6. Yan yun. So, enter. So, kung mamanu-manuhin mo yan, 14.92 squared is 222,606. Kung mamanu-manuhin mo yan, time consuming. So, kapag nag-Excel ka, double click lang. So, yun na. May sagot na hanggang dulo. Isang formula lang. Same pero dito is x and y naman. Ito yung x, ito yung y. So, x times y. So, 14.92 multiplied by 25.13 is equal to 374.94. So, double click para hanggang sa 74. Yan. Double click lang yan and tanan may sagot na ulit. So, punta naman tayo sa y squared. Same process sa x, pero ngayon naman y naman. So, equal sign. Ito yung y natin, yung mean of cooperative social responsibility. So, number 1 is 25.13. So, same process. Shift 6 and 2 para square. Para sa square. So, enter. So, 25.13 times 25.13 or 25.13 squared is equal to 631.517. So, double click ulit. And, dito na. So, lahat na fill up na natin yung x, yung y squared, yung xy, and yung y squared. So, ngayon, ang kukuhanin naman natin is yung summation nila para magawa na natin yung correlation coefficient. So, ito. Number of sample natin is 74. Since ito naman yung given, 74 companies. So, summation. Paano tayo magsa-summation? So, pag sinabi nating summation, ito yung total sum or kabuuan or total. So, click lang natin yung summation sign dito sa upper right. So, ito. Click. Yan, ganyan na siya. Then, enter. So, lahat na to sabay hanggang y squared. Click mo lang papunta dun sa right. Then, ayan na. Ito na yung summation natin. So, gawa lang tayo ng 2 decimal. Ayan. So, 2 decimal yung natin, yung answers natin. So, ayan. Diyan tayo makakakuha ng, ito yung gagamitin natin to compute the correlation coefficient. So, punta na tayo sa PPT. Ito. Ayan. Same answer dun sa PPT. So, PPT na tayo. So, ito. So, ito yung formula na gagamitin natin. Yan. Ito yung formula of correlation coefficient. So, summation of xy. Ito yung xy. So, substitution na tayo. Summation of xy is 19,793.06 less yung number of sample which is 74. Then yung summation of x which is 1240.01 and summation of y which is 1073.56 all over square root of summation of x squared here. 39,719. So, naka-round off lang to. Pero dito, sa na-compute natin is 39,718.71 to. So, kailangan natin naka-2 decimal tayo, okay? Next is the 74. Yung 74 sample, number of sample. So, since 74 companies naman yung ginagamit natin. Then, yung summation of x which is 1240.01 squared. Magkaiba yung summation of x squared sa summation of x tapos i-squared. So, iba yung value neto. Iba yung value neto tsaka dito. Okay? Next is multiply by double quantity of summation of y squared. So, y squared, ito. Y squared is 21,580.02. Di ba yung na-compute natin is 2 decimal? Dito lang sa na screenshot ko is wala siyang decimal. Pero may decimal yan. Less 74, the number of companies. And multiply by summation of y, which is 1,073.56 squared. So the answer is 0.16 coefficient. So, ito yung na-compute natin correlation coefficient or R, which is 0.1694 or 17. So, bakit natin ni-round off ng 2? Parang front lang yan para ma-interpret natin. Next, interpret the coefficient of correlation you got in number 2. So, number 3 requirement is interpret the coefficient of correlation you got in number 2. So, yung sagot natin sa number 2 is 0.1694, 219, or sabihin na natin 0.16 or 17. So, ito yung ibig sabihin ng correlation. Pag 0.0, ibig sabihin nun, no correlation, no relationship. Dito naman, positive, negative 0.01 to 0.20, very low correlation, and almost negligible relationship. While 0.20, positive, negative 0.21 to 0.40, slight correlation, definite but small relationship. And 0.41 to 0.70, moderate correlation, substantial relationship. 0.71 to 0.90, pag ito nakuha mo, ibig sabihin, high correlation and marked relationship. And pag 0.91 to 0.99, ang result ng correlation mo means very high correlation and very dependable relationship. And last, if positive, negative 1, yung result ng correlation and coefficient mo, it means perfect correlation and perfect relationship. So, since yung nakuha natin na Pearson correlation coefficient is 0.94 or 17. So, nandito siya. So, very low correlation and almost negligent. So, the degree of relationship between net profit margin and cooperative social responsibility is very low correlation, and the relationship is almost negligible, which means the profitability of the public listed companies as indicated by mean net profit margin will not affect the socially responsible using practices of public listed as public listed companies as indicated by mean of cooperative social responsibility. So, yun yung interpretation natin ng result or yung result na nakuha natin sa nung nag-compute tayo ng correlation coefficient. Next is, next requirement is test for the significance of non-significance of the correlation. So, itetest natin kung may significance ba or walang significance yung correlation by computing the t-statistic. So, step 1, hypothesis. So, ito na yung nagawa natin kanina, yung we state our null hypothesis. So, same lang dito, there is no significance relationship and there is significance relationship or two-tail. Pag sinabi nating two-tail, dalawang side. Okay? Next, step 2, level of significance. So, ito na yun, yung test of significance natin. So, level of significance. So, ang level of significance natin dito is, yung alpha natin is 0.5 or 5%. And yung DF or mean or degree of freedom is, formula natin is DF is equal to N or number of sample less 2. So, dito, yung number of sample natin is 74 less 2 is equal to 72. Then, step 3. Ito na yung sinasabing by computing the t-statistic. Okay. Ito yung step 3. Compute the t-value. Dahil given na yung correlation coefficient natin, which is 0.1694 or 17, so, we're going to compute the t-value. So, yung formula ng t-value natin is t is equal to r square root of n less 2 all over square root of 1 less r squared. So, where r is correlation coefficient, n is total number of observations or number of sample, and d is degree of freedom. So, ito na, magsa-substitute na tayo. Yung r natin is 0.1694. Ito yung nakuha natin sa taas. Dito. Dito, yan yung nakuha natin. Diyan natin siya nakuha. And, yung square root of 74, dito na, minus n is square root of 1 minus, so substitution na lang. So, ito na yung sagot. 1.458663058 or 1.49. So, para hindi kayo malito, advice lang kasi sa amin ng mga prof namin dati na mas maganda is kung 4 decimal yung gagamitin. Pero as dito, required na required na 2 decimal lang. So, 1.46. Pwede siyang 1.46 or 1.4586. Okay? Next is, so na-compute na natin yung t-statistic and na-test na rin natin yung, so nalaman na rin natin yung level of significance. Next na tayo is compare the computed t-statistic with the tabular value of t at 1.9939 with n degree of freedom and alpha of 0.05. So, nagtataka tayo, para saan yung DF? Eh, hindi naman siya kinailangan sa t-test. Para saan itong 72? And para saan yung 5% na level of significance? So, dito yun. Itong degree of freedom, ito yun. So, sa atin, 75. So, dito, walang 75 dito. So, ito dito. Pag kinlik mo to, nandito siya. Pero since given naman na siya dito, ito, which is 1.9935, given naman na yung value natin, yung critical value, hindi na natin kailangan hanapin. Pero kung wala, hindi siya given, pupunta ka sa ganito, sa table of t-test, ganyan. So, degree of freedom, ito yung degree of freedom, dito. Then, hanapin mo yung P or the alpha. P lang dito pero alpha sa atin. So, alpha, ito, alpha yan. So, 0.25, 0.05 yun sa atin. So, dito tayo sa 0.05. Since walang 72 dito, click mo tong link na to, then makikita mo dun. Pero since nandito naman, given na siya yung ating critical value, which is 1.9935, hindi na natin i-click. For confirmation lang, kumari, adapted ka, bakit 1.9935? So, eto, click mo to. Dito yung patunay. Right? So, ito yung source. So, compare the computed t-statistics. So, ang computed t-statistic natin is 1.458663058 or 1.4586. So, 4 decimal ulit para medyo accurate yung makuha nating sagot. Then, so compare. Ito yung t-statistic natin with tabular value of t. So, tabular. Ito yung table at 1.9939. So, ibig sabihin ng tabular value, ito yung t-critical value. Ito yung value ng t-critical value sa tabular or sa table. So, which is 1.9937. So, when we are comparing o sa critical value, ang normal or normal na equation is t value absolute greater than absolute t critical value. So, pag kino-compare natin yung computed t-statistic with the tabular value, ito yung common equation. So, laging greater than. Okay? Kailangan yung t value is greater than t t critical value. So, laging greater than, okay? So, since ang na-compute nating t is 1.4586, absolute greater than 1.9935. So, in here, we compare, right? So, is it true or false? So, mas greater ba itong 1.4586 sa 1.9935? True or false? So, false. Because kita naman dito na mas malaki yung t critical value than t value. Okay? So, parang general rule dito na kailangan yung t value is greater than t critical value. If hindi mas malaki or hindi greater than yung t value sa t critical value, therefore, it is false. Okay? If it is false, then the decision rule is, or the conclusion or decision is, accept or do not reject the null hypothesis. At the 5% level of significance, there is no enough evidence to conclude that there is a significant linear correlation between the profitability of the public listed companies as indicated by the mean of net profit margin and social responsible business practices of public listed companies as indicated by MCR. So, seventh requirement is justify your decision. So, since the result is false, wherein the t critical value is greater than t value, which means that there is no significant difference between profitability of there is no significant difference between the profitability of the public listed companies as indicated by the mean of net profit margin and social responsible business practices of public listed companies as indicated by mean of cooperative social responsibility. Therefore, do not reject the null hypothesis. So, di ba? Um, di ba yung result is false? So, so, ibig sabihin, do not reject the null hypothesis. Di ba yung hypothesis natin is there is no significant difference between the profitability indicated by MNPC and dun sa MNCR. So, ibig sabihin, yung hypothesis natin or the null hypothesis is true. Okay? Next is requirement B. Ay, ipakita ko lang yung T-curve. Ito yung T-curve. So, di ba 1 so 1.99 yung T-critical natin. So, 1.99. So, positive, negative yun. 1.99.35. So, sabihin natin nandito yung part na yun. Dito yung part ng critical level or the significant level which is 1.99.38. Then dito din. 35 pala. So, dito. Then yung result ng T natin is nasa loob siya ng do not reject region. So, nandito siya. Kasi di ba nakuha natin is 1.45. So, less than siya dito sa sa region. So, nasa loob siya ng region. Ibig sabihin, do not reject the null hypothesis. So, next requirement is the graph the matrix using a scattered diagram. So, ito yung scattered diagram natin. Ipapakita ko lang kung paano siya nakuha or nagawa yung diagram. So, dito tayo sa the graph the matrix using scattered diagram. So, yung chart na gagamitin natin is scattered diagram. Click insert, then chart. Hanapin natin yung scatter. So, ito yung scatter. Yan. And, okay. Then, may lumabas na formula. Ito yung formula. Di ba nag-Excel tayo kanina? Copy natin yung X. Ito. Ayan. Hanggang 74. Ayan yung ano niya. Yan. Control C. And punta ka sa X axis. Control V. Yan. Then, punta ka sa, balik ka ulit. Sa y-axis ka naman. Di ba yung y-axis natin is MCSR? So, dito naman tayo. So, dulo hanggang dulo. Ayan. Huwag nyo lang isama yung summation. Control C. And, balik ulit sa Word. Click. Then, Control V. Yan na. X nyo lang. Ayan. Then, ito na yung formula. Ay, ito na yung graph using scattered diagram. Edit lang natin ng konti para maganda. Tulad ng kanina. Yan. Ayan, ito yung gusto ko. Then, yung color is orange. Ayan. So, ito na yung diagram matrix using the scattered diagram. Then, next requirement is derive the sample regression of model y using the formula of y a plus bx. So, bago natin tong bago natin um, ma-compute yung simple regression or yung y axis or y intercept, we should calculate the b and a. So, yung b, ito yung formula, which is b is equal to n or number of sample multiplied by summation of xy less summation of x multiplied by summation of y all over number of sample multiplied by summation of x squared less quantity of summation of x squared. So, substitution. So, alam naman natin kung saan natin to nakuha. That 74. Dito siya nakuha ulit. Papakita ko lang sa Excel. So substitute. So, ipasok na natin yung Excel. Ito yung Excel. So, substitution. And, ang number of sample natin is 74. Multiply by summation of xy, which is 19,793.06 less summation of x, which is 1240.01 multiply by summation of y, 1703.56 all over the number of sample, which is 74, multiply by x squared, which is 39,718.71 less summation of x, which is 1240.01 squared. So the answer is 0.0952234116 or 0.05. 0.05. So kailangan natin munang ilagay yung buong answer. So next is A. Nakuha na natin yung sagot sa B. So A naman. 8. The formula of A is summation of y less b summation multiplied by summation of x all over the number of sample. So substitution, summation of y, which is 1073.56 less b, which is 0.0952234119 multiply by summation of x, which is 1240.01 all over the number of sample. So the answer will be 12.91191915 or 12.21. So, pwede na nating masagutan yung y. So, y is equal to a plus bx kasi meron na tayong a and b. So, yung a natin is 12.91 plus yung b is 0.095x. So, yung x dito, ito yung isa-substitute siya kapag gusto nang hanapin yung y-intercept. So, where the y-intercept is 12.91 and the slope is 0.095, it is interpreted as the estimate increase is profitability at the public listed companies as indicated by mean of net profit margin, which is X variable, and social responsible business practices of PLCs or the public listed companies as indicated by the mean of cooperative social responsibility or the Y variable. So, na-compute natin yun. So, next requirement is Draw a trend line in the scattered diagram. So, dahil nakapag meron na tayong formula, pwede na tayong makagawa ng scattered diagram. So, punta ulit tayo so ito yung scattered diagram. Ipapakita ko lang kung paano siya nakuha. So, dito, draw a trend line in the scattered diagram. Same process dito, pero merong trend line. So, papakita ko. So, click insert, chart, scatter. Okay. May lalabas na formula. Natin yung Excel natin kanina, which is ito nga. Click natin ulit. Same process, tulad kanina. Control C. And punta natin sa X value. Kasi since X value naman yung M and PM, so doon natin lalagay. Next is the Y value naman. Ito yung Y value natin, di ba? So, copy lang din. Control C. And balik. Control V. Yan. And X. So, ito na. Click natin tong para pare-parehas tayo. Para maganda. Pili tayo ng font. Yan. And next, click mo tong plus. So, kikita mo yung trend line. Yan yung trend line. Ayun pa pala. So, yan yung trend line. So, basically, iyan na yun. Iyan na yung iyan lang yun. So, dahil lang tayo ng t-axis, axis title. So, dito natin lagay, which is ilalagay natin yung na-compute nating y. Y is equal to y to 12.91 plus 0.095x. So, ayan yun. Yan yung simple regression natin na nilagyan natin ng trend line using scattered diagram. So, yan, ganyan yung paano. So, di ba same lang? So, may ituturo pa pala ako bago para mapadali or para hindi na natin manu-manuhin na tulad nito, ganito. Hindi mo na mamanu-manuhin ng ganyan. So, ituturo ko lang. Di ba, ayan na yung data natin. Kailangan lang kasi talaga nito eh. So ito na yung data natin. Ang gagawin mo para madali, kasi using Excel, mas pinadali kasi yung pag-compute pag using Excel. So, iba na ang may alam ka learn. So, insert. So, no. Click data. Click data analysis. So, yan. Find regression. So, click the regression. Then, okay. Then, may lalabas na ganito. So, input Y range. So, alam natin kung saan yung Y value dyan. Yung Y value natin dyan is MCSCR. So, yan. Click mo lang yun. Then, click natin yung input X range. So, alam natin yung input X range, which is eto, yung mean net profit margin. So, click mo lang yan hanggang sakupin mo lang yung buong range lang niya. So, click level and confident level. So, para hindi na tayo makagawa pa ng new worksheet, outlook range na lang click mo. Then, hanap tayo ng, so, dito lang natin lagay. And, click, dito natin lagay. Yan. Click, okay. So, ito yung pinadali. Ito yung R, yung correlation na kinumpute natin dito. Ayan, mas madali na siya dito. So, di ba minano-mano natin to sa calculator? 0.694219. Pero sa Excel, click lang. So, yan na. Next is dito sa pag-compute ng simple regression. Dito. So, di ba ang daming gagawin? Ang daming gagawin. So, dito yan. Dito makikita. Dito sa coefficient. Yung intercept, yung 12.911. So, ito yung A, tama? So, A. Ito yung A. Ayan. While yung Y range is ito. 0.95 here. Same lang, right? So, ganun kadali pag gumagamit ng ayan. Pag ginagamitan ng Excel. So, allowed naman tayo gumamit ng Excel. So, mas better. Pero pinakita ko lang yung process or paano makuha. Be all. So, thank you for watching.